The bill, the cake, and the unexpected turn. Jasmine had always been an independent woman growing up in a strict but loving home. She was taught to value hard work, dignity, and self-respect. Jasmine had always been an independent woman. Growing up in a strict but loving home, she was taught to value hard work, dignity, and self-respect. These values shaped her into the woman she became, a strong, successful business consultant who built her career from the ground up. She thrived in an industry where few women reached the top, not because she was lucky, but because she was relentless in her pursuit of excellence. Her husband, Ryan, however, was a different story. He had always struggled with his ego, particularly when it came to finances. While Jasmine saw their marriage as a partnership, Ryan saw it as a battlefield, one where he constantly had to prove his dominance. They had been married for 3 years, but lately, things had grown tense between them. Ryan had recently lost his job, and although Jasmine reassured him that she had their expenses covered, his pride took a hit every time she paid for their outings. To Jasmine, love wasn't about who earned more. It was about support, respect, and partnership. But to Ryan, it was about control. For their 3rd wedding anniversary, Jasmine planned a special evening, an upscale dinner at one of the city's finest restaurants. She had chosen the place carefully, knowing how much Ryan loved their famous steak and fine wine. She wanted the night to be perfect, to remind him that they were in this together, no matter what. As they sat down, Ryan seemed on edge, fidgeting with his napkin and barely making eye contact. The waiter brought their meals, and they toasted to another year of marriage, but Jasmine noticed how Ryan kept glancing at the bill folder resting at the corner of the table. His mood seemed to darken with every glance. When the check finally arrived, Jasmine instinctively reached for it. She had covered their expenses many times before and didn't see anything wrong with doing it again. But the moment her fingers touched the folder, Ryan snapped. "You're really going to do this again?" His voice was low, but there was an undeniable edge to it. Jasmine looked up, confused. "Do what?" "Pay the damn bill in front of everyone like I can't take care of my own wife." She sighed, not wanting to argue in public. "Ryan, we talked about this. It's not a big deal." "It is to me." His voice grew louder. He slammed his fist on the table, causing heads to turn. "You emasculate me every time you do this, like I'm some broke loser living off you." Jasmine tried to keep her voice calm. "Ryan, that's not what this is. You're my husband. What's mine is yours." But Ryan wasn't listening. His face twisted with frustration, and then, in a shocking moment, he grabbed the small anniversary cake the waiter had just placed on their table and hurled it at her. Gasps erupted around the restaurant. The rich chocolate cake smeared across Jasmine's beautiful dress, dripping down her face. The entire room fell silent. Jasmine sat frozen for a moment, humiliation sinking in. But more than the cake, it was the deeper betrayal that stung. The realization that the man she had loved for years would rather embarrass her in public than confront his insecurities privately. Then she did something no one expected. Calmly, Jasmine picked up her napkin, wiped her face, and stood up. She turned to the waiter and said, "Could you please bring me another piece of cake? One for myself, and one for my lawyer." Her words hit Ryan like a truck. His face paled. "Jasmine, wait." But she was already pulling out her phone, dialing a number. The restaurant erupted into murmurs and whispers. A woman in a nearby booth, an older lady who had been watching everything unfold, clapped slowly. One by one, more people joined in until the entire restaurant was applauding Jasmine. She turned to Ryan, her voice steady. "Respect isn't optional, Ryan. And neither is dignity. I won't stay married to a man who humiliates me over his insecurities." Ryan stammered, his confidence crumbling. I was just upset. I didn't mean." Jasmine cut him off. "You did mean it. And that's the problem." She turned to the waiter. "Could you charge the bill to my card?" "No need, ma'am," the waiter said with a small smile. "Someone else already covered it." Jasmine blinked. "Who?" A man from across the restaurant raised his glass. "To strong women who know their worth," he said. Jasmine smiled, nodded in gratitude, and walked out of the restaurant, leaving Ryan speechless, alone, and drowning in the mess he had made. That night, she didn't just leave the restaurant. She left behind a marriage that had long stopped serving her. And for the first time in a long while, she felt free. Sitting in her car, Jasmine let out a deep breath, her hands gripping the steering wheel. Her phone buzzed. It was Ryan. "Baby, please come home. We need to talk." "Jasmine, I was upset. You embarrassed me first. I just reacted." "Ryan, you're really going to throw everything away over one mistake?" Jasmine stared at the messages, her heart aching. But her mind was clear. This wasn't a one-time thing. His insecurities had been eating away at their relationship for years. Tonight was just the final push she needed. She called her best friend, Monica. "I need a place to crash tonight." "You already know my couch is yours," Monica said immediately. "Want me to bring ice cream or tequila?" "Both." The next morning, Jasmine wasted no time. She met with her lawyer, Camille, a sharp woman who didn't believe in sugarcoating. "Based on what you've told me, this isn't the first time Ryan's made you feel small, is it?" Camille asked. Jasmine sighed. "No. He never hit me, never cursed at me. But he knew how to break me down in other ways. Every time I paid for something, he made me feel guilty. When I got promoted, he accused me of thinking I was better than him. He resented my success, even when I offered to share it." Camille nodded. Some men can't handle a strong woman. And when they realize they can't control her, they lash out in other ways. She slid a document across the table. "We can file this today." Jasmine hesitated for only a moment before signing her name. It was done. Months passed. Jasmine thrived. She traveled, expanded her business, and even met someone new, a man who wasn't intimidated by her strength but inspired by it. One evening, she returned to that same restaurant with friends. The waiter, who had witnessed everything that night, smiled. "Miss Jasmine, you look amazing. And guess what? We added a new dessert to the menu, chocolate empowerment cake. Inspired by you." Jasmine laughed, feeling lighter than she had in years. As she took a bite, she realized something. The best revenge wasn't getting even, it was getting better. Her phone buzzed. A message from Ryan. "I heard you're doing well. I'm sorry for everything. I hope you're happy." Jasmine smiled softly but didn't respond. She had already closed that chapter. Instead, she looked across the table at Daniel, the man she had met at a business conference. He was charming, kind, and most importantly, confident enough to respect a strong woman. He caught her looking and grinned. "What's on your mind?" Jasmine set her phone aside, picking up her wine glass. "Just thinking about how far I've come." Daniel raised his glass. "To new beginnings." She clinked her glass against his, knowing one thing for sure, she would never settle for less than she deserved again. And that, in the end, was the sweetest victory of all.